What's up, Diamond Temperature? We back for a third time. This is another appendage, whatever the word is, semi chest neck. Anyway, I wanted to touch on something I was saying earlier when it came to watching different things, whether it's drama or intervention, and just looking at it from a clinical standpoint. Even when I'm listening to hip hop today, like even listening to hip hop, I can hear like the sense of hopelessness, the desperation, the hypervigilance, the trauma, and in certain situations, in certain cultures, we might not look at it as trauma or whatever, and I don't know if that's a count to being more resilient, being around it all the time. It's just another part of life. I was thinking to myself the other day, I've been through situations where it might have really traumatized somebody. And a lot of these instances, I don't even remember. Some people might have nightmares. Some people might have flashbacks or whatever. And it's crazy because I don't even remember it unless it's brought up or something triggers my mind. But like lately, I've been listening to like hip hop, like I said, and it's not just because for some cultures outside the culture and some cultures that are apparent to the subculture, it's like you hear different things. You hear how thousands of songs where people talk about they can't trust a best friend or fearing death and not fearing death, but being face to face with situations where you might end up dying. So you have that constant presence of I might go out here today and might not come home today, and you hear the stories of betrayal, the stories of relationships, the stories of you know being heartless, having no attachment, or not being able to form attachments, not having empathy, not having empathy, but having to do what you got to do to survive out here. Um, Different things that goes back to the survival over persona. Like if you're trying to live a certain lifestyle, you might just be in love with the lifestyle. Um, you might be in a situation, and this is where I come to the survival of a persona. Like I've seen people who are in love with the lifestyle, the honeys that shake their ass and balls, all that stuff. And I've seen situations where people have maybe floundered, maybe just discovered something else, a way out, and they take that way out. They focus, and like I've always said, I've never been like a major kingpin or nothing like that. But as a flounder, and I did find what I was good at, like I said in both the previous time and temperatures, and it's like, all right, so now I might not have been able to achieve kingpin status, but like I'm at Moyer Lansky status where I'm not in the game. Like maybe everybody around me got killed or locked up. Sometimes that happens to people, or sometimes it's just I move away from that lifestyle. Like being in the field is like I've said that I've experienced both perspective of somebody who's still in the life and perspective of somebody who's moved out of the life or uh, gotten out of the life, whether it's selling drugs perspective or using drugs perspective. And the crazy thing is like you get to the point where like I'm saying I've felt I've gotten there myself. I've heard other people saying it where the last thing on your mind is to revert back to previous behaviors. Now, like I've also said, and I've also discovered, like you might be faced with those urges and cravings, like. But for the most part, I always enjoy hearing like if it's dealing with grief, trauma, whatever, and the person says the last thing on my mind is reverting back to previous behaviors. And like I said, I've experienced it myself. And when I came to that recognition, it was like, it was one of them experiences where it was like, this is like a revelation. Like, yo, I know Other time it was stressful. It was, yeah, I mean, it was like I'm gonna go smoke weed or some shit like that. I'm gonna go drink or some shit like that. But now it's like, nah, that's the last thing on my mind now. As somebody who did different things, like, you know, that survival, when that survival instinct kicks in, you might have different urges and cravings. Uh, Aside from maladaptive coping skills, but like I said, I'm listening to the music and it's different songs. Like I'm listening to different songs, and whether it's the guy's perspective on relationships and their emotions and how they might not be emotionally available to most people, but they opened up to one person or a couple people or whatever, and whether it's like like I said, the everyday violence that people face, or like never really having that secure attachment and the people that you're hanging with when you're around these people every day, you like, and that's where I came to a point where uh, I was telling people in the past, like, I really don't have no friends. I got acquaintances and associates, but then I came to the point where it was like, I might not consider you a best friend because I don't trust nobody on earth, and that's what it is. But at the same time, like, I kind of love you like family, like, yeah, and when I say that, it's like you don't always agree with your family. You might go years without talking to the family. You might get in an argument with family, but at the end of the day, like if something jump off and somebody tell you something or somebody come to you after 5 years, I've had a conversation with somebody. It's like, all right, we haven't seen this dude in like 16 years. We know he good, but if he came to us was like, yo, this is going down, what would you do? And the boy, and we basically both out to life at this point, but the boy turns to me and was like, no, it's whatever you need or whatever. And I'm like, all right, the, say no more. That's what it's supposed to be, like And like I said, we might not always gel or be around each other or see each other. I don't know at this point. At this point, it might be what it is, but like, yeah, I mean, that's what I came to. And when I'm listening to these hip hop songs and urban songs or whatever, and even in some of the pop records or other stuff like that, and you even have a social justice aspect of some of these songs. Like when you listen to, that's why for me, like there's eternal argument about Biggie and Tupac, and when it comes to me, it's like Tupac's a more versatile artist. His lyrics and delivery might not be as intricate, especially for somebody who loves intricate lyrics and stuff like that. It might not be as many double entendres. It might not be as intricate, but the substance of his music and the versatility of his music always reigns key to me. And everybody don't live that Biggie Jay-Z lifestyle. You get what I'm saying? And even people on like on in that life, you might not ever get to a Jay-Z level. Um, but as far as Pac, like Pac, even though he had success in the music industry, film industry, like a lot of his music dealt with pain, struggle, and like paranoia, dealing with situations that might cause hypervigilance and paranoia and stuff like that. And like through the field, I was able to basically learn the difference between paranoia and hypervigilance and stuff like that, and always being on edge. Like you keep your back to the wall. You watch everybody in the room. You know everybody in the room. Don't trust nobody in the room. Y'all laugh together, cry together, chill. But you really, at the end of the day, like at any given time, somebody could blow your head off, try to sleep with your chick. And like I'm not saying like what I mean, whatever it is what it is. I'm just saying, just listening to different records. It's like what I mean, whether it's a party joint or not. And even like I'm saying with the intervention, like with the music, you can, like I'm saying, really hear the attachment issues, whether it's from broken homes or from trauma or whatever it is. You can hear that survival instinct. You can hear different things. Like it's not just shoot 'em up, bang bang. It's not always just the glorification of violence. You get what I'm saying. Somebody said like we rap about what we see, we rap about what we experience, and just like and I worked in substance abuse, so people further along in their recovery, like I always say, it's not a comparison between or competition between somebody far along in the recovery or somebody walking in the front door for the first day, because even somebody walking in the front door for this first day might be like, I am done, and then somebody else might be like, I'm thinking about being done. But it's like, there's familiar stories, there's things that you witness, things that you go through, things that, like, happen, and some of them stem from some of the same places, like I said, like with the attachment, with like the trauma, like witnessing violence. And I've also said, like, it's crazy when you are in situations and you see certain things going down, and it's not even, you don't even bat your eye because it's like, it's so normal. But like I'm saying, when I came to the people that's farther along in their recovery, and you start to move away from that life and those familiar stories into the life beyond that, the life after, um, that becomes a familiar story. And it's like I said, it's not a comparison. It's just like, when you have that growth and you have those experiences, and now you're reaching places where you can maintain and do the things that you might not have ever did, whether it's holding down a job or going back to school or working full time for 15 years. And it's like they go from one extreme to the other. And like I said, it's about perspective. But even with the rap situation and the artists and the people that overcome, like I'm watching these artists from the platinum era, the '90s and stuff like that, new millennium, and the stuff that they glorified, the stuff that they talked about, the stuff that they rapped about. That's not the same content that they're putting out today. That's not the same thing that they might talk about in podcasts, and I'm saying that because, like I said, I'm not somebody that's a part of the 1%, but at the same time, like, I do have that past, and and I feel like I'm just like any other person that went through things and changed, and now they own a nonprofit, work for a nonprofit, work as a substance abuse counselor, or whatever. Became an activist, became somebody that speaks up for social justice, criminal justice, inequality, whatever, sexism, racism, stuff like that. And it's like, like I said, it's a different perspective. It's like, yeah, that was the past, and though you might have familiar stories or situations from the past that you really laugh about or whatever, it's like at this point, like, this is the heyday, this is retirement, this is like, all right. So, and like I'm saying, as somebody who's not in the 1%, but I'm trying to do the tattoo shop. I've graduated, I got 2 degrees, and I'm not saying I'm the Mac Daddy shit out here. I'm just saying, like, stuff is, I'm not even saying I'm the smartest person on the planet. I'm just saying, like, think you can accomplish stuff. I'm just saying, just recognize your strengths, exploit your strengths, and try to survive those situations as best you can. Because, like, believe it or not, even with everybody in those situations, in those familiar stories, there's still people that walk down their steps every day that can be in the thick of all of it, whether it's in the projects or whether it's in the illest hood, and they walk down their steps and they go to school, they go to camps, they go to work, and they get on the bus, they drive their car, they go 10 minutes down the road, they go 30 minutes up the road, and they work and stuff like that. And all I'm saying is, because I know the no opportunities is like what it is, but like we can create our own opportunities. Like nobody's giving me nothing. Like I've had to work for the things I have, and though I feel like I'm somebody who's good with money and never really, I wouldn't say struggle. Like I had to do what I had to do, and I had to make money. But the money I've had, I feel like I've always made wise decisions. Like some decisions have been questionable to some, but like for me, it's like, all right, well, you're not going to tell me what to do, or you're not going to punish me when I'm not doing anything wrong. With like, you're not going to punish me for trying to set up a tattoo shop. You're not going to punish me for going to school. Like, that don't make sense. Like, I ain't committing crime. So if I spend money, especially on something for money making opportunity, you're not just going to sit up here and be like, all right, well, I'm gonna limit your income because you're spending money. Like, no, that's not going to happen. So if I'm spending money on an investment, like, it's one thing if I'm buying hats every Tuesday, or if I'm buying watches every Thursday, or if I'm, but like, right now I'm broke. But in the recent past, like, I've been taking trips and had savings. I dropped whatever on whatever and had savings, and like, that's how I usually am. I'm usually contributed in the 401ks and stuff like that. And I'm like, again, I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. That's just regular people shit. Ain't no rewards for that. Ain't no I'm loose to open. I just do it because I'm supposed to. Don't get in your feelings live. That's true. Um, but I'm just saying, like, it's opportunities to create opportunities, and it's ways to do things. Like, I don't remember if I said this in a different rant or not, but like, as a drug and alcohol counselor, and as a drug and alcohol counselor that has a past, it's like, at one point in time, I might look around the group and was like, okay, there's $6,000 today in this room. You get what I'm saying? And that, I don't want to, again, like, I think I did mention that like once or twice, and I don't want people to take that as a disrespectful thing. It's just like, um, there's money, you might not make that money legally, but you can definitely, like I'm saying, I ain't did nothing extraordinary great out here as far as legally, but like, yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to set up. And the point of me saying that is just like there's money out there like that, and people look at things from that view because, like, people say drugs sell themselves and it's easy money, it's quick money, but there's also a lot of legal money out here, and that's what I've discovered. Like, not just through schools, you could do it 100 different ways, and it's a lot of legal money out here. It's a lot of legal money. You don't gotta exploit nobody. You don't gotta rob nobody. You don't gotta sell nobody drugs and destroy the family, community systems, and whatever. And I know people don't want to. Some people might not want to hear what that I'm on one. I'm just like, like, survival over a persona. If you're out here trying to survive, like, it is money out here. It is legal money. You might have to bust your ass to get it, but yeah, I mean, like, I know fast money. Fast money is easy, and that's the allure for some people that's living a persona. Like, but you might question me because I'm from a side of the creek you ain't familiar with, but I know my neighborhood. I know where I'm from. I know Philly, like, yeah, I mean, the back of my hand, and I know what it is. It is what it is, but still, like, yo, it's legal money out here. I don't care how you say it. I don't care how you present it. Like, I know, and I know it's not illegal to make legal money. So, like, I'm after every dollar. It's not immoral to go after the money. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in a humanities field, and I care about my clients. I care about my clients to death. Like, I'll advocate to death, but at the same, and I've been out there doing dumb shit. Like, the Jay-Z joint, fuck you mad at me for? Y'all don't even know what I've been through. I played chicken with a Mack truck. Y'all motherfuckers would have been moved. I swam waters with great whites. Y'all motherfuckers would have been food. I sweat vultures late nights. Y'all motherfuckers would have been chewed. At one point, niggas fantasize about the shit that I did daily. Like, these rappers rap about all the shit that I did really. Like, we gonna stop there. That's Jay-Z. But like I said, like, and it's not to brag and boast or nothing like that. I'm just saying, like, the stuff that I've been able to do since being in my opiate adulting. I hope nobody takes that to offense. Get out your feelings live. I'm just saying, like, since removing myself from those familiar stories and becoming a part of this new familiar stories that you got to grow accustomed to and really see, it's like it's the same it's money out here. There's boss money out here. You could be your own boss. You could do your own thing. You can really do different things. I'm not gonna give you the formula because you're not stealing my clientele. Um, you gotta have telepathy. Anyway, um, so you can market your telepathy. Like you could really put your telepathy on the market. That's a new form of communication. But anyway, people have said to know what Rick's thinking about, you got to be in his head. So, but I ain't gonna give you the formula. I'm just gonna say it's money out here. It is money, and like I said, you gotta really like if you talking hustler spirit, like you if you a hustler like and you move away from that life, it's still parallels and everything. Like I don't know if I said that on the previous live. Like I was delivering pizzas after I left that life, and like I looked at it kind of like a retail, and looking at things like retail, it's like this that's the re up game. Like you hear so many songs, the rap game remind me of the trap game. We gonna put it like that. Um, and it's basically you get your wholesaler. I did that in the rant. I told you about the cheesesteaks. Bust down the cheesesteaks, and you come up 150 or 250, and you gotta go put back $25 for a re up. So, or maybe like if you bought 5 boxes, you put back what 125, and you still come up what's the 125. So you just you really it's the re up game. That's what I call it. Yeah, I mean you got your scales in your bag, you got your overhead, but you get your distributor, you get your wholesaler, you get your connect, you buy it wholesale, you bust it down retail, and you hit the streets and like I'm saying, there's a lot of different things out here, and for those maybe not everybody, but for those contemplating their retirement, for those contemplating a exit strategy, like there are different things, like like right now I gotta hustle it up the long way. You got I'm not trying to do nothing stupid, and like my money and my credit card investments in businesses is one thing. Loans and stuff, that's one thing, but still loans is like if things ain't working out, like what I mean. But hopefully we just building towards the future on the future, you get what I'm saying. But like for those, I'm not speaking to everybody, but for those trying to really approach the retirement exit strategy, it's like, all right, you got the re-up, so you just invest in the re-up. I don't care if that's like I'm not gonna give you any examples because I'm not trying to give you something I'm working on. Like I don't know, do an amusement park. I don't fucking know. I'm gonna give you somebody else's totem pole. Like I'm riding down Kelly Drive, and I'm seeing the boys out there rowboating, and I'm like, yo, if they rowboating out here, can you throw some jet skis on there? Like you might be able to rent out some jet skis or some shit like that. Um, Not that's somebody else's totem pole, but at the same time, I don't know if they're working on that totem pole. So, not to create more competition for them because they talked about beach community, but they trying to redo the waterfront and shit like that. But then like they do have jet skis, or at least people, the rich motherfuckers got the jet skis out there on sorry if I, live. Don't get in your feelings, and that's totem pole too. Don't get in your feelings. I'm saying. I'm just saying. On the Delaware, not on Schuylkill, because like I said, I was on Kelly Drive, so I was looking at Schuylkill. But like some people might not ever see no jet skis. Some people might not ever see the Jersey Shore. But like some people I've talked to, they ain't never seen Kelly Drive. But if you put some jet skis down there, I don't know. Some people might enjoy it. Some people might be scared. Can't smell them. I don't know. But they be out on the Delaware. I don't know which river I would trust more, but you got the life preservers or life jackets. If you wear the wetsuit makes you float anyway. So I don't know how. Cause I heard some stories about the current, but they be out there in the rowboats and the paddle boats and the canoes and stuff. Like throw some jet skis out there. But basically, I'm saying like I gotta work hard. I had to get the degrees to get to the place that I wanted to be, to secure the bag and try to build from there. Um, if you're looking for that exit strategy, if you look at that's just an example, like that's pretty much a little overhead to me. You do the paperwork, there's paperwork, and you buy 5 jet skis. Like I'm not saying it's inexpensive. You got banshee money out my face. Um, throw some jet skis down there, and this is just an example. So, like I walked away a long time ago, so I was floundering, and if you're reaching retirement and you don't have to flounder, you could just parlay into another venture that's legal and legitimate. Like really, like my whole thing is that's that Jay-Z line too. I ain't buy out the bar, I bought the night spot. Like really, just investing in interest. Like you get what I'm saying? Like I'm not a bar dude. So I'm not like, yeah, I mean, that ain't my thing. Like I'm a sports dude, so like if I wanted to do like a sports bar, that would be my thing. But I ain't a real bar dude. I ain't a heavy drinker. Like, and when I was out there, it was like before legal. So I'm 40 now. Like you know what I mean. So I never really played bar like that. But like the comparison is like exploit your strengths, exploit your interests. They say like if you have a job that you enjoy, you'll never spend a day at work because it's always fun. And that's how I felt about the clinical shit. Like, I like that intricate shit. I like the problem solving. I like the solve puzzles. I like watching psychological thrillers, the whodunits and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, I know that's the attitude. I know the attitude. I know the no resources. I floundered, believe me. I'm not God out here. I'm not a super genius. So it's just, I did flounder. It's just like, I mean, I am 40. I'm still working on my totem pole. I'm still trying to build my foundation. Like I said, I thought the degree would have the bag secured, and then I'd be able to work on other things that continue to establish myself and establish that brand and legacy. But I'm still not. They didn't. I, I I ain't hearing no bell. Like I'm still fighting. I'm still fighting. I'm still out here. Like we took you through the fight analogy, but what I'm saying is like whether it's opportunities or I forget what I was gonna say. Oh, like I'm saying when I did the Phoenix design, I don't know if you can see that, but that's the Phoenix design. Yesterday I did that demonstration. Like I've been a part of that familiar story. There's no life after death. There's no coming back from that felony stamped on your jacket. And like I said, not only me, so I'm not just feeding you bullshit. Like I've seen so many people that when they reached their retirement, they wanted to do their exit strategy. They had that change in mindset. They really moved away from that and were successful. I don't know if they started their own. Everybody started their own business, but like I said, I've seen people start nonprofits, reentry programs, and different things. Like just do different ventures, whether it's community, civic, criminal justice, or just some regular, like a LLC or construction, something like that. But I'm just saying, if you're nearing your exit strategy and you like had at the point where you had enough, or you feel like the walls are closing in, whatever, look up the block can't be found. Put in 24-hour shifts, but that ain't me now. That's easy. But if you reach that point, it's like just I'm just saying, even if you heavy in the game, if you not just addicted to the life, because I understand that. Like I said, that's that you get money as fast money, and you burning and you getting it, burning it, or you just getting it, stacking it, and burning it. Like you might there's going to come times where it's like, all right, you're going to have them times where you're hyper vigilant, whether it's because of the cops, whether it's because you can't trust your homies, whether it's rival crews or whatever. But I'm just saying, contemplate and putting focus, finding something that you can invest that fast money in. And I'm not trying to say that as this is an exit strategy. And I say it like that because like when you work in drug and alcohol, people are starting that come into these programs are trying to get out of. They're trying to do their exit strategy. They're trying to do their retirement plan. Like that's it's you know what I mean. Like they some people are contemplating, some people are not contemplating. But I've seen more people have success than I've seen stagnant or um, regressing. I've seen people regress, but I've seen more people have success, and I am, like I'm saying, I like working with all of my clients, but you know, it is what it is. So that's why I come to that approach, not just for personal growth as I grow older, whatever, more mature, whatever you want to say. It's like, you know what I'm saying, like you're coming out of familiar situations where like you might see violence every day, even though you might not be a part of it. You might see drug dealing, prostitution, and whatever, and you're like now at the point where okay, I'm done, or at least you don't want to get sick. I don't know. I'm not saying nothing that people ain't familiar with. They familiar stories. Live, live. Don't get out here tripping. Don't get don't get in your feelings. I'm just saying like so, escape the gaslight. If you come across the gaslight, run, save yourself, because they'll have you in your feelings, and they'll have you like you don't see me around too many people because they'll have you in your feelings, and I ain't about the dumb stuff like. But anyway, I guess that's all I gotta say. That was that appendix. The whole point in this is like I was saying. I guess I'm not done. Was like we were talking about different things as far as the field and even with the A&R stuff, and it's like when you listening to the music, and that goes back to the intervention. It's not just intervention. It's like when you really listening to these records, however they're laid out, performed. This is everyday life for some people, and for some people it is straight facade. For some people it is straight facade. For some people it's straight persona. And then for others, it's like this is what they are going through, experienced, lived through, heard about, homie been through, girlfriend been through, mother been through, sister got shot, whatever. You're dancing at a strip club, you throwing them at the strip club, you hustling at the strip club. This is everyday life for some people. And when you listen to the music or watch the reality shows or whatever, like as a clinician, it's just like I'm seeing different things that I probably wouldn't have. I know I definitely wouldn't have saw before. Like even with the intervention episode, it would have just been an intervention episode because I've been watching intervention as long as I've been watching Drugs Inc. and it really never. Now it like, and that's the funny thing. Like I used to watch Drugs Inc. and like I mean it would turn me on. Like I'm just joking, but still like I mean it was like yeah. Not like for me, it's like not like I'm learning anything, but like I mean, but at the same time, now watch Drug Inc. I don't even think I can watch Drugs Inc. Like it's like okay, like as from the clinical standpoint and the destruction standpoint, because like from a certain perspective in that familiar story, it's like all right, you see money, you see it hand to hand, you talking to your homie laughing. When you're watching the intervention, it's like you really see the destruction, like not just to the person that you might be laughing at now, or person that you don't even see as a person, you just see as a hand to hand. You watching your hand go to another motherfucker hand and handing them shit and getting your money, and maybe they'll be back in 4 hours, and you look at and you thinking, all right, well I'll see them again before the night over. But when you're watching the intervention, it's like like I'm saying that one point I was just watching that as a show, but like now it's like I'm watching it, and not only am I analyzing it, I'm seeing like the destruction through not just that individual you made the hand to hand through, their kid, their parent, like the parent. I've seen Johns where, and this is the John that the season that they filmed in Philadelphia up in Kensington, and they were interviewing people from like out in my county, which is right next to Philly, and my town, my borough is on the border of Philly. That's why I spent more time out there than in my county. And all my family's from out there, so like that's the foundation right there. Bro. That's dumb. Anyway, so like a lot of people were out this way and further out, and they were up Kensington, and one of the people they got stabbed twice in both clavicle bones, like they had the scars and everything. and you see the person's like mom, dad, and aunt all suffering and panicking and going through their emotions and craziness, and like that's no different than a rapper that got a mom on drugs or a brother on drugs or somebody that got shot in the head or something like that. But it might be a different perspective since you might have been a dealer or whatever. But like I'm saying, so now you see not just you see the more humanistic element. It's not just a dollar. It's not just a green blue piece of paper. Like you get what I'm saying. It's not just a hand to hand. It's not just maybe I'll go out here and get locked up for 3 months or 3 years. Like it's more of you see the trauma. Not like I said, not just in the generation that parented the individual, but the next generation and that kid and how the kid is dealing with it, how the kid wonders if their parent is going to come home. And I haven't went through that, but I know people that have that I was close to, and like I've seen things and stuff that happens to individuals that we haven't seen each other face to face in 16 years, 15 years, and we've known each other 20, and it's like I still care, like I mean, but I don't know what you're doing on the earth, like we usually kept in contact all this time, but should be crazy. So that is what it is. It's just different. Like you still care. Like I don't know. Like I'm saying, to go from that heartless, cold, callous, lack of empathy to this person that, and that's psychology in itself too. Like when you go from that and then you do find somebody that you connect with, form an attachment with, have a relationship with, whether it's male or female, somebody that models positive behavior or makes you feel a conscience, and suddenly you develop that conscience, and now you're seeing different things that you never cared about before, and you might have went from exploiting people to seeing everybody as a come up to like questioning your decisions, questioning your maybe not the past, because the past might not mean too much shit to you, but questioning different things, like just questioning different things, and it's a perspective thing, like, and that's why I say the whole people further along and the people just entering the door, because it's like the people that are further along, they still went through everything that, like, I'm gonna say most of the stuff that somebody that went through the door went through, and now they're at a point where it's like like I'm saying, you wouldn't even known that they had that past. And I know I said it in the past, time and temperature, that some of these people are like 20 years younger than me, and it's like, how the fuck you 20 years younger than me and you doing better than me? You went through hell. Like I was sitting on trunks laughing at dumb shit. Like I was sitting on trunks laughing at dumb shit. I'm on subway platforms. I'm in the hooky house. Like how the fuck do you go through the hell that you went through and you're doing better than me at life? And like that's why I came to the John. Like I'm looking myself in the mirror while somebody who might still be in that street mindset and hasn't had that change of mindset. Like if you go too far pushing boundaries, you might be looking yourself in the mirror, because like it won't be a complete regression, but when you come for my neck, I'll take your head off when you push too far, and that might take 6-7 months of you trying to bullshit me or insult me subliminally, and I'm looking you in the face, laughing with you, and it's like I might have a bad day. And it's like, all right, enough's enough. Cut the shit, Sherlock. You gotta tighten up. So it's just like I'm saying, like that to me. That again, that journey again speaks to people's resilience, speaks to overcoming different situations, and it speaks to the possibility of, or not just the possibility, but the ability to, for anybody. Like I ain't gonna say anybody. I don't want to say anybody, but I do think like anybody can change. I do think it's possible for anybody to recover from different things, mental illness, substance abuse, whatever. But you just gotta have that either change of mindset, or it has to be a change of mindset. Because like people in the field say, like you could want to do it for your friends, you could want to do it for your kids, you can want to do it, but that's not going to sustain that motivation because something can happen and the motivation goes out the window. You gotta really have that change of mindset. But whatever. I'm just on one. I see you.